Hello models, contestants, and viewers. Welcome to the first episode of Cycle 2 of Candy Apple's Next Top Model. I'm so excited for this new cycle. I can't even contain it in words. I'm always excited when there's a new cycle. I'm always excited to see the first assignment and to get to know all of the models. And I'm kind of surprised that every contestant this cycle is female. Will be the first ever Candy Apple's Next Top Model cycle that has been all female. So congratulations, top 10 girls. We've had some dropouts, some add-ins, some this and that, but all in all, there's 10 of you now, and by the end of this video, there'll only be 9 of you. We were going to have a double elimination, but after looking at the photos, there's just so much potential in all of you that it was just so hard for us to even find one girl to eliminate. So, let's begin. Let's start off tonight with our list of fabulous judges. First, we have Justin from Abduction Productions. Next, we have Jessie from Total Misfit. Anna from Wango Tango. And our special guest judge this evening is Katie. She went to Cycle Amityville, and you might remember her from the top 3 of Candy Apple's Next Top Model. Cycle 1. Alright, let's let the judging begin. Alright, so let's start with Kayla Vanity. First, I'd like to say that you sent in multiple photos, and all of your photos were extremely site modelly. We think that if you continue on in this competition, you need to remember that this is Next Top Model, which in this video cycle, in Candy Apple's Next Top Model, you have to be a model. So study up, practice some different poses, and don't just settle into your comfort site model zone. Next this week, we have Emily. Emily's secret was that she collects butterflies. This is gorgeous, and I know that you can only use your cell phone camera, but in this CANTM, all the judges always take into account the video or photo quality as well. So, see what you can do about that. Some people didn't like the angle. I really enjoyed the angle, and I edited it some to kind of add more contrast and more depth. Alright, next up, we have Amina. Amina, your photo was a little late, but I knew it was going to be late. I knew you weren't feeling well, and I personally love this photo. Your secret, which it was just so powerful and so strong, and I can't tell you how many girls are going to see this photo and be able to relate. Next up this week, we have Angie. Angie, I told you that you could use 2 photos to show what you're doing. I said just make sure you kept it modelly. Well, every single one of the judges, when they commented, mentioned how unmodel-esque this looked and how little effort it seemed you put into it. You're a gorgeous girl, and I love your secret. It's so true that you prefer handwritten letters over text messages, but you need to remember this is a modeling competition. Alright, next up we have Serena. Serena, your photo this week didn't excite the judges. Your photo was late with no apparent reason. I told you could be a couple hours or even a day. I gave you an extra day, and you were like 2 days late, and I had to hound you to get this photo. I had to go find the photo. You didn't even send it to me. And on top of that, we really think if you just stuck to one secret and not multiple, that you're Wiccan, you do drugs, and you're a tomboy, we think this photo might have worked if it was just that you were a tomboy. You need to look at it as a secrets assignment, not a real me assignment. Alright, so next up we have Kayla. Kayla's secret is that she smokes. Kayla, just about all the judges except for a couple of us really liked this photo. They actually put you, pretty high up on their list. I'm not a fan of the expression, and frankly, I wasn't a real big fan of the secret either. Yeah, it's a secret that you had, but I don't see the model in this. I don't see where this could be used for. Maybe an anti-smoking ad, but I wasn't a huge fan. Next, we have Amanda Marie. Amanda's secret is that she's 19 years old and she likes to color. I think everybody likes to color. You sent me 2 photos, and I showed both photos to the judges, and the most of them liked this one better. You have all the aspects of an NTM photo here, but you have to watch your pose. You lost your leg. Make sure all your body parts are visible, and, you know, just kick it up a notch. I know you have it in you. Alright, next up we have Heather. Heather's secret is that she's afraid of soda cans, which I think everyone appreciated the creativity in this and that she was being honest. But you don't look so much scared, you kind of look shocked. And a couple of the judges didn't quite understand it even. So next time, just, you know, focus on modeling and show us something different. Next up we have Caitlin. Caitlin, you were one of the girls that I let in at the last second, and your photo this week proves to me why. You have emotion, you have created a story with your photo. Just about all the judges didn't like your cutoff this week, but I think it adds creativity and depth. Next time, just remember, you know, model and try and show us everything. I think you have the emotions and the expressions down. You just need to work on the pose and the actual construction of the photo. Also, you were this week's winner of the challenge. You got the most questions right. You got the most questions right of the model challenge this week, which means you are safe with immunity and you cannot land in the bottom 2. So congratulations, and I also was really impressed with your hard work on going back and even watching my videos to try and figure out the answers to the extra credit questions. Alright, and next we have Hunter. Hunter, your photo this week, I really liked the concept that you were going for. We just didn't like the cutoff and the closeness of this photo. So next time, just back it up a little bit, and I think it would have been better. And maybe some more petals thrown in there, you know? Something along those lines. Now that we've judged your photos, we're going to go deliberate. And when we get back from deliberation, we will see what 9 of you will continue on in the hopes of becoming Candy Apple's next top model.
Let's have a game with happy and sad music. When you hear the happy music, play your rhythm sticks or clap, just as you did before, like this.
Do you remember Laura from Cycle2? Do you enjoy participating in NTM contests and more? Then Revive Contest is the site for you. Check it out. Welcome back, models, contestants, and viewers, to Candy Apple's next top model. We had a really long deliberation, not only because this was the first episode, which makes it harder for us to decide, because right now it's not only based on just your photos you sent in, but it's also based on your potential. So no matter who goes home tonight, that doesn't mean you're a bad model. That just means we didn't see as much potential in you based on this photo. And we hope to see you in another cycle. Alright. So first call out this week goes to Caitlin. Congratulations, not only did you win the challenge and really impress us, but you impressed us with this first photo being one of your first NTM photos ever. Congratulations. Next, Kayla. Amanda. Heather. Heather, you know what you did wrong. Don't let it happen again. Amina. This photo is so powerful, you just have to have a little more faith in yourself. And next time your photo will be even better. Emily, this photo is creative and sweet and great, and you really do look like a fairy. Kayla Vanity, no more site model. And the model who's safe from being in the bottom 2 this week is Hunter. Hunter, your photo was creative and you showed effort, but next time, more model. That leaves you 2, Serena and Angie. I hate seeing you 2 in the bottom 2. Because, Serena, you were someone I kind of, you know, I was so excited about your photos. You'd sent in your 3 application photos, and then you changed your hairstyle, and you went out there, and I thought you were a go-getter by, you know, taking a whole nother set of photos. So excited to see your photos, but this photo is just, it's kind of a letdown, you know? And you leave the judges wondering, you know, is every week going to be this? Is every week going to be a late photo that's mediocre? Or if we keep you around, will the next photo be on time and be amazing? And Angie, I personally went out and recruited you. I saw you on Facebook and I was like, I want that girl in my NTM. Because your photos were so creative and you had so much passion, it seemed, even for a newbie. So, you know, you kind of disappoint me a little with this photo. And, you know, but your photo was on time and, you know, you went out, thought outside the box for your secret. So you should get points for that. So now the decision comes down to which of you two has slightly more potential based on their photo. And the model who will continue on in the hopes of becoming Candy Apple's next top model is Angie. Congratulations. Next time, you have to be a model in your photo, or you're not going to make it to the next elimination. I'm sorry, Serena. That means you're out. There's so much potential inside of you. I know there is. I've seen most of your photos. Gorgeous and unbelievable. I don't know what happened here. Good luck, and I hope to see you in another cycle.
If you wanna play it like a game, well come on, let's play. 'Cause I'd rather waste my life pretending than have to forget.
Announcements. Alright models, your next assignment will be coming to you very soon, so keep an eye out. Also, if you don't have us added on Facebook, please do so. I don't send any information, post on your wall if you don't want people to know about this. I will only message you, so no worries. Alright, those links can be found below if you're watching this on MySpace. Alright, congratulations Final 9. And remember everyone, keep it modelly. Toodles. So we're going to do something new this cycle. Candy Apple's Next Top Model Trivia. The first person to guess the answer right gets their name mentioned in the next video. Alright, so this week's trivia question: which judge lives a block away from a prison? A. Ashstone, B. Justin, C. Anna, or D. Jesse? Good luck!